I was trained at the University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida, but I spent most of my adult creative life in Spain and in New York and Florida. My work can be seen overseas and stateside. Pennsylvania, the Chautauqua area of upstate New York, there's a lot of my artwork. Chautauqua just gives me a venue for displaying my work. I've been a sculptor on the campus of Chautauqua Institution many times, and my work is there as a permanent exhibition. Many of the guests there have bought my work. I made a promise to myself when I first started doing artwork that I would never do artwork to earn a living, because then I would be making teapots, because that's what would sell. Not that my work doesn't sell, it does. But if I had to pay my monthly rent, when you're doing large sculptures, especially monumental pieces, you don't get a monthly income. And so you tend to make lots of small objects that you can put in shops and sell on a regular basis. And you can't help it because you're influenced by your need. And so I made a promise to myself that I would not do artwork with that kind of pressure. And so my artwork wouldn't change a bit if I didn't need money, because I don't really use the money that I earn from my artwork for my living expenses. I use it for travel, for fun, for advancing my artwork, for buying materials and equipment and things like that. And so it wouldn't change at all, not even a tiny bit. The only thing I have done is I have put robes on some of my sculptures rather than making all nude sculptures. And it's fine with me to put robes on them or to do them nude, but I have found that in certain venues the nude sculpture is not, they don't feel comfortable with it, so I put robes on some of my sculptures. I'm not trying to express a theme or react to my environment or tell a story. I'm merely expressing who I am. Yeah, I'm expressing who I am through my artwork. As I grow and change with time and as things influence me, of course, but it's just a very personal expression of myself. It's very simple. Hopefully, and it seems to be true, that people respond to my artwork on that personal level. Each person brings their own experience to my artwork and expresses that experience to me, and sometimes it's very different from what I intended, and that's perfectly all right. I'm not all that influenced by whether people approve of me or not. As I get older, I'd say my sculpture's gotten a little bawdier. And I think that makes me more natural, and my artwork expresses that. I think every person, no matter how poor or how uneducated or how low on the scale of what we would consider a person who lives easily or has to fight for existence, all of them have a creative expression. It sometimes expresses itself in different ways. And the luxury of being able to spend a lot of time doing my artwork is certainly a gift that I have. But when you see the cave paintings and just the way people will pile stones and build their gardens and arrange their living areas, even the most primitive of people and the people who've had to struggle a lot for survival do express themselves artistically. They have their amulets, they have their things that are important to them, their ceremonies, and the things that they have created, even if it's a simple something that they're eating out of. It's very important to them. And so on that level, I don't think I'm at one place in society or in that way. However, I have planned my life so that I don't have to do a 9-to-5 job. As far as responsibility goes, I really believe that if everyone created their own personal life in a peaceful, loving, generous, and responsive way to themselves and everyone that is immediately in their environment, and thus to those that are further away in their environment, that this world would be a peaceful, prosperous, healthy, and wonderful place. And I approach life from a very personal point of view that way. And my artwork expresses that. It just expresses something that has to do with life, not death. I have tried to express something specific about the day, and it doesn't seem to work that well for me in my artwork. I think what works better for me personally in my artwork is expressing the human capacity to always do better, to always take responsibility for themselves, and to bring something better to this world instead of taking it away. And certainly that's anti-war, and that's anti-hatred, and anti-separation, and anti-us and them. And it speaks to community and positive elements, but it's at a very, very personal level. It's not at a specific level. It doesn't have a specific theme where it says, this particular administration is bad. It doesn't do that. It says that all of us should take life at its fullest and make the best of it, and be responsible for ourselves and bring joy and love and community. And that's the way I have to do it, because it's the way I see life. It's a very personal thing.